morning, ma'am. Myself, Sultana from B.Sc Nursing second year. Today I am going to discuss on the topic Self-Instructional Module. A variety of instructional modules have been developed in the science and technology. These are used as effective curricular instruction. And now I am going to discuss about definitions of module and self-learning. Definitions of module. A learning package for achieving pre-specified objectives. A module is self-contained and includes the instructional materials necessary for the learning of specific unit of topic. And then definition of self-learning. Any learning resource that can be used by a learner without the presence of the material teacher. This does not preclude learning from other learners. Now about the purpose, it is used in the advanced organizer, which are rare in textbook. They help the learners in formulating a relationship between their existing knowledge and the new materials encountered in a lesson. Now about the principles of self-instructional module. The content of self-instructional module is structured in a systemic and sequential order to achieve predetermined objectives. The emphasis is on active involvement of the learners. It should always be arranged in a logical order, taking the learner step by step through topic. Further part will be discussed by the Krishna Sharma.
A very good morning, everyone. Well, as my teammate Parvin has already introduced you to the topic, that is self-instructional module, now I would like to talk about its characteristics. So the characteristics of self-instructional module are learner interaction with material, usually self-instructional, has an integrated theme, only one component of the curriculum, has statement of objectives, and provide information needed to acquire specified knowledge and skill. Now, talking about the components of a module. Number 1, it is a single concept topic. Number 2, behavioral objective. Number 3, pretest. A pretest is usually but not always included in written modules. If the teacher is sure that no student would be familiar with any of the information given in the modules, then obviously a pretest is not required. However, written modules on nursing curriculum includes a pretest mainly because of two main reasons. Firstly, nursing students today come from heterogeneous background, isn't it? And secondly, students go through many information during the curriculum. The fourth component is learning activities, where students are being asked to demonstrate a laboratory skill, maybe do a community visit or prepare presentations and so on. The fifth component is the self-evaluation tool. And lastly, post-test, which is very much essential for the purpose of feedback. Well, it was all about the components of module. Now moving on to our next topic, that is the process for the development of self-instructional module. The process of development of a self-instructional module is presented under three major headings which correspond to the following phases. Number 1, preparatory phase. Number 2, implementation phase, and lastly, evaluation phase. We will be learning about each of these phases one by one. So, let's begin with the first phase, that is the preparatory phase. This phase is concerned with the collection, analysis and interpretation of data mainly in three areas. The first is a national health policy and plan. Such data are required to evolve a strategy for the production, preparation, dissemination and civilization of a self-learning module. The second area is a target group for continuing education. This information is very much helpful for us to gain knowledge about the size of the group to be trained and the type of learning material to be used as well as the distribution system to be used. The third area is the learning resources, which includes two types of resources. The first is the human resources and second is the physical resources. Under human resources, we will require experts who are able to give guidance and counseling to the learners on the subject matter. Physical resources, we will require teaching facility that may include a building or a classroom or any other room or any other open space. We will also require audiovisual equipment, teaching learning material that may include anything such as data sheet, handout, pamphlets, etc. that must be provided to the learners before the beginning of the session. This is about the preparatory phase. Now, moving on to the second phase, that is the implementation phase. This phase includes the process of program definition, production, preparation, dissemination, and utilization of self-learning modules.
Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dolley from second year B.Sc Nursing. Now I am going to continue the evaluation phase of self-instructional module. So, in order to ensure the effectiveness of self-learning module system, it is essential to evaluate all its aspects. For this, there are various processes of evaluation phase. They are, so first one is the input evaluation. So in this type of evaluation, basically we just evaluate the inputs or the efforts provided for proper training. Those who are writing the content, those who are producing the modules, whether they are giving their proper efforts or not, we just evaluate all these things in this input evaluation. The process evaluation, it should include evaluation of the following things: the program and the training of the self-learning modules. Next is the production evaluation. In this evaluation, we are not talking about how much production is, but rather how much percentage of audience have learned something from this self-learning course. Impact evaluation, everything that has been learned by the learners will ultimately gain impact in their daily lives, in their jobs. So by evaluating these impacts, we can evaluate learning of different individuals. Moving on to the next topic, our topic is advantages of self-learning modules. The first and foremost advantage is that it is an economical process. The learner can study at home without any undue disruption of work and at his or her own time and place. The requirements for physical teaching facilities, example, classrooms, are minimal or non-existent. Next is the living allowances for trainees and trainers are at minimum. That is, very less amount of money will be used for both trainees and trainers. Secondly, the topic or contents are pre-decided and audience are also those who are getting benefited. Under this advantage, there are many sub-advantages like learning objectives and activities are selected and organized according to the learner's needs and abilities. So whoever are the learners, they will learn whatever they need or whatever they require. Learners can choose a module he or she is interested in or needs a particular time. So now moving on to the last topic, that is limitation or disadvantage of self-learning module. Number 1, for self-study, a motivation or devotion is necessary. Without self-motivation, learners can't learn anything. Secondly, there is minimum learner-teacher group interactions. Learner may become too individualized or self-centered and may not develop team spirit or group skills. Thirdly, everybody does not know the global language, that is English. Thus, there might be communication or language problem for which the audience will find difficulty in understanding the content. I move on to the summary of the topic. Self-direction in learning is a way of life. The idea of self-education or taking responsibility of one's own education is clearly rooted in the history, and in our view, the current popularity of self-directed learning reflects to adult education. Move on to the conclusion of the topic, self-instructional module. Module is one of the methods of self-individualized instruction. The module gives opportunities for self-learning. Module gives self-motivation to the learners so that they gain better knowledge with the best style of learning. Thus, a proper use of module could stimulate effective learning among students.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Begum, B.Sc Nursing second year student. So today I am going to discuss one topic. The topic is simulation. So before starting this topic, we have to know some knowledge about this topic. So simulation. A simulation presents the learners with more or less lifelike model of the real world with which they are interacting in solving problems which are adopted from their adopted role perspective. Then simulation is as old as human beings on earth. Even the animal also, they are using this topic or using this technique of simulation by giving some training to their young ones how to adjust in real life situation or in a physical environment. Then the use of simulation is comparatively very recent. Now I will discuss about the definition. So simulation has been defined as an attempt to give appearance or to give the effect of something else, which is given by Bartlett in 1970. Then coming to the purposes. So purposes, first one is simulated. The simulation they are provided simulated experience to the learners, and second one is make the learners aware about the real life situation by creating some artificial settings which is very close to the real one, and third one is to provide the motivation. And fourth one is by making learning interesting, and fifth one is provide feedback to the learners, and fourth one is develop the higher codon of cognitive skill and critical things. Now coming to the principles, the main principles of simulation is a simulation must represent the real life and the simulators must enhance to decision making skills and the general appearance, and the action of learners should be monitored, and appropriate feedback should be provided.
To discuss about the characteristics of simulation. A good simulation will include mirror real situation while providing control over extraneous variables or constraints that might interfere with our learning. Second one is that it provides a mix of experience that can be replicated for successive learners. Third one is that it provides a safe environment in which learning was priority over patient or system demands. Third one is the simulation focus on the application rather than the uncertain recall of knowledge. And the fifth one is that it provides immediate feedback or performance. Now I am going to discuss about the uses of simulation. The simulation is mainly used in the nursing field. It helps to nurse to gain the knowledge and apply to the nursing process. Example, sending and evaluating the outcomes. Second one is that it helps in problem solving efficiently without minimal time wasting. Simulation is also a venue of attitude changing. It also helps in to learning the psychomotor skills. And the last one is that it helps in evaluating the student learning capacity and competence. Now I am going to discuss about the types of simulation. The first type is the written simulation. Second one is the audiovisual simulation, and third one is the live stimulated simulation. Now I am going to discuss about the first one, written simulation. Written simulation is mainly used the articles are paper and pencil. It mainly helps the student to evaluate the student problem and their applied skill in the. Second type of simulation is audio-visual simulation. In audio-visual simulation, there was mainly a videotape. In this simulation, the students given by the some questions in front of the screen, and there can be chosen some answer which can be videotaped. And the last one is the live stimulated simulation. This was first experienced by the Lincoln, Layton and the Holman in 1978. In this simulation, mainly the healthy patient, usually the students are mainly play the role. In this patient are usually use the one history to play the role. Simulated patient mainly use their one history to roll the play, and they mainly solve the problems. It is mainly useful for the nursing in the nursing field during the first experience, where they first experience the first patient, and they have a more confident and relaxed. The different instrument and equipment used for the live stimulated simulation are video recording, simulated patient, simulated device, computerized screen, etc. Now my friend Sentisangla describe about the procedure of simulation.
Good morning everyone. Today I will be discussing the procedure for simulation, its advantages and disadvantages, and I will be concluding the topic as well. Now proceeding on, procedure for simulation consists of 5 procedures, that is selecting the role players, selecting and discussing skills, planning, deciding the procedure for evaluation, provided practicals or provided less practical lessons. Number 1, selecting the role players. A group of 4 to 5 students or teachers are selected. They are assigned different letters according to alphabetical order. The role assigned are rotated within the group so that everyone gets a chance to be the actor and the observer. Number 2, selecting and discussing skills. The skills to be practiced are discussed and the topic that fits the skills are suggested. One topic each is selected by the group members for exercise. Number 3, it has to be decided who starts the conversation, who will top the interaction, and when. 4, deciding the procedure for evaluation. How to record the interaction and how to present it by the actor has to be decided so that the proper feedback on his performance can be given. Number 5, provided practicals or provide practical lessons. The role players should be provided reinforcement on their performance to give them training for playing the part well. Advantages of simulation. Theory and practicals combined. Simulation establishes the settings where theory and practicals can be combined. Number 2, motivates and involves students. Simulation is a teaching device that motivates and involves students. It introduces novelty and freshness in the whole learning procedure. Number 3, no risks involved. No risks involved. The decisions are made and carried out without physical or psychological harm to the children or school as a result of practice teaching. Number 4, promotes high-level critical thinking. Number 5, feedback to the learners. Provides feedback to the learners on consequence of actions and decisions made. Number 6, uncovering misconception. Enables teachers and learners to assess the realism of the situation by uncovering misconceptions. Number 7, develops in the students an understanding of decision-making process. Disadvantages of simulation. Simulation is costly in terms of both time and money. Number 2, results in boredom. Acquisition of necessary factual data would result in boredom. Number 3, suitable for small groups. Number 4, simulation cannot be made for all the subjects in the curriculum. Number 5, learning is a serious process which is highly individualized and needs concentration on the part of the learners. Simulation reduces the seriousness of learning. And number 6, minimum feedback sequence to choose. Number 7, need for many stimulators. In conclusion, simulation is all as human beings on earth, but it has recently been used in teaching learning process. It provides mirror real situation which enables a mixture of experiences while providing a safe environment for its participants. Simulation fosters the decision-making process and critical thinking ability of the learners. It is time-consuming yet worth the effort as it makes real-life situation exciting and not terrifying as we have been accustomed to the situation already. Thank you.